Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So in this video we're going to take a look at a golf club which I feel would be a huge advantage for many golfers out there. There's a lot of benefits to using this club in some different situations on the course, which we're going to do in this video out here today, and we're going to maybe see the advantages this might have over another option in that part of the bag. We're going to check it out in this video. Okay, so the long area of the golf bag, the long iron, the hybrid, fairway wood potentially as well, is often an area that sort of golfers will struggle with in terms of trying to get the right gap in as to progress out of it. We know many golfers, and you're probably one of these, who will struggle maybe with that longer iron, tougher club to hit, now switching into a sort of hybrid. But there's a club that maybe just goes under that radar a little bit. It used to be very, very popular back in the day, way before hybrids came onto the scene, and I think these are definitely overlooked and we don't sort of pay them enough attention. So typically we see a lot of golfers carrying a long iron, maybe a 3-iron, 4-iron. They are generally things of the past now, unless you're a really good ball striker. So the iron's sort of gone. Introduction of hybrids. Brilliant introduction to many amateur golfers out there. Iron length pretty much, control aspects good, a little bit ease of use, more forgiving, very good option for many golfers, and still is a great option. But what about this golf club? Hugely popular before hybrids came along. It's the fairway wood and it's a 7 wood. That's right, so many golfers often overlook this. We don't see a lot of hype around 7 woods, even sometimes 9 woods nowadays. They have come back a little bit more, but hybrids tend to take the limelight a little bit more. I'm going to go through this video, give you some studio data on Trackman of the flight and the differences between these, and maybe the benefits that the 7 wood has over that hybrid. So do stay tuned. Later on this video we're going to show you some examples between the traditional 3-iron, the 3 hybrid, and then that 7 wood in the ball flight, peak height, descent angle, everything like that, and maybe see some benefits this 7 wood has. Okay, so let's talk about some of the benefits that maybe a 7 wood has over that hybrid. Now obviously the head size is a big element. You know, it's a bigger head that we see on a fairway wood, so obviously that sometimes is a confidence booster, isn't it? We're typically going to see a little bit more loft on the club face, maybe just because of the depth of the club, especially these Ping G430s, very shallow on the head. Many of them are like this, so we get like a shallow face, so we tend to visually looks like there's more loft on there, and there is. So this 7 wood is 21 degrees, a 3 hybrid, which is equivalent to sort of a 7 wood, is coming in at 19. We know there's a shaft length difference with the 7 wood being longer, which does make up that difference in the degrees. So that's why you can't really compare fairway woods to hybrids in terms of the degrees. So sometimes you might see the same loft degree number from a hybrid to a fairway wood. It's not going to go the same distance, and it shouldn't do, really, because of the shaft length difference between the two, with the hybrid being shorter, fairway wood being longer. So say bigger footprint down by the golf ball, that will help a lot of golfers maybe gain some sort of confidence. Obviously with a bigger head they can move the weight further away from the club face. We know that helps with a little bit of launch, we know that helps with a little bit more spin, and also forgiveness. So maybe more of a forgiving option against the hybrid. So before we carry on with the video, just post your comments down below. Have you got a 7 wood in your bag? Why have you put it in? What do you feel you get more out of that in comparison to maybe that hybrid or that longer iron? Love to hear your thoughts as always. Post in the comments below. But then of course you've got ball flight. Now that 7 wood has flown really high. Many golfers, probably with less speed than I've got, will maybe just struggle to get that ball flight. So this is a club that you're probably going to hit into that green, aren't you? So that descent angle, which we're going to look at as soon as we go into the data in the studio on Trackman, but that descent angle gives us that little bit extra stopping power and control. So if we hit the hybrid now, okay, and there we can see that ball flight there is a little bit more penetrating in comparison to that 7 wood. So maybe another advantage and feature of the 7 wood is how it comes out of then these little lies, what we just tend to see in the rough. We need to get some loft into this and get this club working through the grass. Now we know a lie like this situation here with that long iron is definitely a no-go. So hard to do that. So again, that's one of the reasons why that long iron has gone. 7 wood again has some great advantages. A little bit of that flatter sole can cut through that grass. We've got the loft. We've got that weight back. It's going to try and get that ball popping out of this lie quicker. And don't get me wrong, a hybrid will obviously get this ball out, but you know, we're trying to maybe get that ball hitting into a green. We want, again, this descent angle, which we're going to talk about, the peak height. 7 wood's going to allow us to do that. So a bit of confidence again with that head size. We've got that loft there. Definitely looks like there's more loft there, which there is by 2 degrees obviously, but visually looks much more than that. Let's see how it comes out of this lie. Oh wow. Yeah, and that's just really popped up and probably not that dissimilar to the shot I've just hit off the fairway, to be honest, even in that lie where the ball's just sat down. So let's quickly jump into the studio. Trackman, I'm going to hit 3 iron, 3 hybrid, 7 wood. Let's look at the data and you'd be surprised at some very interesting results. So just to show you this side-on view of the ball flight, so you can see the white ball flight is the 3 iron, and then we just sort of move into the 3 hybrid, which is obviously the orange one. You see a little bit of a higher flight against that 3 iron, but then when you move into that 7 wood, what you'll notice is that flight is quite considerably higher. So as I say, getting that better descent angle. Really moving into that 7 wood, more important, see ball speed obviously goes up a little bit more. Club head speed goes up because of the longer shaft. Launch is very, very similar, but the spin's a little bit higher. Maybe that weight further back in the head, the size of the head just changed that spin number. So you see 4.363 as an average. Obviously gives us a big difference at that peak height, 120 feet. And also then affects that land angle coming in at 47 degrees, so some good stopping power. So I think for me there's still a bit of stigma around having a 7 wood in the golf club, probably more so for the guys out there. If you're using a 7 wood, you're going to be a senior, you know, only senior golfers use 7 woods. You know, they're not maybe quite as sexy nowadays, are they, in terms of, you know, clubs that you're going to have in the bag. But you've got to sort of get over that. You know, the club needs to do a job, and I think, all right, it might not be a club for you, and obviously there's a whole reason why you've got to go out and test these clubs yourselves to see if you get the benefit from these different sort of clubs. Probably what I would say is you'll be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so maybe we can see some clear benefits that 7 wood has over that hybrid. Again, you've got to choose the right loft to gap it into your long part of the golf bag to make sure it's doing a job when you're out on that golf course. But I would feel, me personally, many golfers I've seen in the studio through our fitting sessions will benefit from that 7 wood going in the bag. Appreciate watching the video as always. Love your support. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you all very soon.